Welcome back to the SCULTURE podcast. I'm Tomo, and today my guest is Kalleo.
Hell
Hello,
yes.
brother. Nice to see you. Tell me,
It's
how
a
are
pleasure
you?
to be here. I'm doing good though. Just paradise, sunny days as you
People,
can see.
Look at this. It's of course it's not winter anymore because when I was recording the first podcast, it was like February. So people in
Alright.
Poland who see the podcast, they were like, "What are they doing in this sun?" You know. But now it's like paradise. But Poland also getting better. Summer is coming to Europe.
Hell
And
yes.
here in Barcelona we feel it a lot, huh?
Coming to Barcelona. If you need some sun, here's the place. Also, paradise for skate. Don't forget about it.
Tell me, bro, what you doing here?
Yeah, I just came from like a long trip. I've been back to Brazil after like 5 years.
Oh yeah.
I was planning to film over there, but I just had a bail the last day here before start to travel.
Yeah.
And I just twisted my ankle. So
When did you start to travel?
when I started February.
February.
I started to go a Winter Clash was the first, and then
Then you go to
since
Brazil.
then I'm traveling was Winter Clash, and then I came here for for a week I guess, and then I spent a month in Brazil. But it was Brazil is not that easy place to skate, so it's even the spots are easy. You need to push yourself, and with one foot only, I couldn't do it. You know, even I tried, but it was horrible. And I was swimming with Harry Kane.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically said, well, let's come back to Barcelona because here we can find some banks, some chill spots as well. And I was
Brazil
yes,
is more
fair.
hard spots, you're saying, yes?
yeah. We've got good stuff, but you know, it's not here is everything so perfect. There you must create, or if you get arrayers or banks, it's not that easy. And in halfway of my body just working, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's why we came to Barcelona just to film some bits.
But in Brazil, what cities you've been?
I was in São Paulo. We had a long plan to do in Brazil, to be fair. It's stay a little bit in São Paulo and then go to South, and even ended up in Argentina. But with my situation that I couldn't skate, I was
Back to Europe.
just come back, just stay there, just see some friends, some rest
Okay.
of my family.
How do you feel right now with the ankle?
Well, it's still sore. I can grind
Because
it.
I skate with you and I didn't know you were injured.
I'm just skating sweet forever. That was a good thing to be a kind of motivated back in the days to training both sideways. It helps, but even though some positions are so hard to do it, if I do royals, doesn't twist like that. So
When I twisted my ankle, I remember when I was doing top soles and through top soles, it's I couldn't do it for a year, bro.
yeah,
I was skating, everything was good, but these tricks, I was not possible for a year or more. I was going physio, and I'm like, bro, something is wrong when I put my legs like this, you know,
Yeah.
something is happening. And then he said it was like a small blood sac inside of this after the injury. Sometimes it happens, and it's becoming hard, and it's just there, you know.
all right.
And after some time, now it's okay, you know. But it's fucking. I remember.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go to the hospital after a month, so I'm kind of stubborn to hospitals. I don't like.
Nobody likes it.
I don't like that thing, but sometimes it's worth. But I'm just doing a lot of workouts, stretching, everything, but going slow. You know, I'm not even trying to grind it because I don't want to regret again. So, and also it's painful. So
Oh yeah, of course.
But-
You have to take it easy, you know.
Yeah,
But I know sometimes you are like, I want to skate, you know.
yeah,
But with the ankle, it's harder. When I had a broken hand a few times in my life, I was like, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm like, I go with the cast, you know. Fuck
Yeah.
it, let's skate. And but with the ankle, it's different
yeah.
because you need this.
Especially to warm up, you are some tricks that you are used to do, just if it's a rail, just back royal or top sides, and then I had to warm up a rating switch or doing some crazy stuff that I'm not used to. So just
And don't fall.
yeah, even though you know, just it's hard. So just I got so afraid to do tricks, and I was let's go just easy spots with banks, stuff that I don't need to jump much, and even that I was afraid, you know. So just
I remember when Niels was doing the project in Thailand with I don't know if it was Kaspar's or his brother, but they filmed the Thai project Mind Your Step. You remember this kind of?
Yeah.
So then I remember I was talking to him, and I think he twisted his ankle in the second day or third day of this project. And then he was like trying, you know, wrapping the ankle and trying to get some tricks. But man, if you twisted your topsole ankle, it's like...
It's hard. It's something that we must be complete, you know. And even that, when we are complete and you have like not good thoughts in the day, you can't work.
Siéntate.
And like, yeah, that was the trip. I was a little frustrated, a little bit, to be fair, because I guess it was my first time in my life that I'm gonna travel to somewhere, and I got like the situation like kind of fuck it.
I know.
And I was like, fuck, that's so bad. And I was like,
I know. Sometimes it's accident and you cannot do anything.
Yeah.
But most of the time I like to think, I don't want to be too smart, but I like to think it's for something, you know?
Yeah,
just
for sure,
to
absolutely.
Think, rethink, what did you do, what happened and everything. Like all my
Absolutely.
injuries, what happened before, I was like, hey, I was, this is Rosie, our lovely dog, and she needs attention, so sorry. But my other injuries was like, I not deserve it, but you know, I did something wrong, I didn't think, or I was nervous, I was doing this, or I was doing that, or my situation in life, or this.
Yeah, it's always like that. That's something that I know already. But
okay, but I wish you quick recovery, and I hope it's gonna be good soon.
Thank you so much.
But you say you went to Brazil first time in a long time.
Yeah.
And you originally from Brazil?
Yeah, I am from São Paulo.
You from São Paulo?
Yes.
Okay.
From the big town.
Tell me, how was the beginning of skating in São Paulo, Brazil? When did you start? What years?
I'm bad with math, but...
Or let's say, how old are you first?
Now I'm 37.
Okay.
Fucking old. Yeah. And
it's not old.
Yeah, it's experience, you know? Experience. And I started to do aggressive, I was 13. So yeah, long time ago. And yeah, my experience was like, I always skated when I was young, just like to cruise, to do all these things.
Skating was kind of popular in, what was that, 90s in Brazil?
Yeah, it was. Because just like a beach, I was living in a seaside area, so it was like very flat, everything. And we were just like skating as a kid, all the group, just holding the wall, just trying to, after a while, just try to build some ramps with piece of wood that we find there. And then...
So there was more people?
Yeah, we had like a couple of friends, just like from building for the street. And after a while, just came the fever from skateboard. And then I was in this time as well, just trying to skateboard a lot. And then in some moment just get bored. Because I was always like this kind of kid that I was climbing stuff, or someone kicked the ball for the other side was me that I used to jump.
That's me, the same.
Climb the tree, so I always like this kind of motivation. And skateboard, I was feeling like a ball because I was just kicking the stuff or just jumping. I was like, I need something. And I always had the dream to do backflips and stuff. So I used to go to the beach, just throw myself.
I did this too, man. This is crazy.
When it gets on the holidays, I had my best friend from the time. He got a skate with like a gel wheel. It was like so nice. It was like a fitness skate. And I used to play on the building, and he said,
gel wheels, you mean no more plastic wheels?
No more plastic,
I remember the plastic, because if somebody don't know, we call it caoutchouc, but in Poland it's like a material, like the ball, the ball to play, which is like, hopping around, but we used to have, like everybody have the plastic skates, I don't know if kids these days experience this anytime,
No, they already had everything, Like we had even the berries, it wasn't berries, it was just like
I remember.
Just to spin at the wheel,
Yeah. Oh my God.
Bless you.
Bless you.
And yeah, that friend just had like the perfect skates, and he gave me with me like, oh, you can skate the holidays. And then like the first time I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the skate park. That was like the skate park that I used to go by skateboard.
But he borrowed it to you, yeah?
Yeah, he just...
So you cannot kind of break it.
Yeah, it was that thing, And then he gave to me, I arrived at the skate park, and for the first time in my life, I saw so many people with inline skates.
Yes.
And some guys doing backflips. And I was like, what?
What do you think, what year was that?
You can do that. I was like, I don't know, 2000 something.
2001, 3, yeah?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, okay.
And I saw that thing.
I
I
think
was
it's
like,
a boom time. I mean, maybe
yeah.
1999 it's a boom, but for me, I was too young.
Yeah,
I
because
think all
like
the world, you know?
yeah, for the sea, like all the way that they were skating, they already was skating for a while.
Okay,
Because
okay.
like we know how to do some tricks like that.
Yes.
Some people are easy, but it depends. And I was in love at the first time. I even spoke with them. I was like, oh, I want to do that because how you do that thing? He's like, oh, I just need to learn how to drop. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna learn it. And
Do you remember who was that? Or this is not people who we know now?
no,
Or
we
there is
don't know
somebody
now. I
like
don't know.
Felipe or somebody?
No, they came like after that. We had like they were like from my town. I know some of them, they are not anymore with us, but
Okay.
unfortunately, but they were like such a huge inspiration for me at the time, and just like pushing me to skate every day.
It was because I was thinking when I was in Brazil, I met the guys who was like, everybody was 40 almost, and
Yeah.
like 46. I think Palia was 46.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, okay, this scene is long time, you know. This like
Yeah.
in Poland, we have people who skate a long time, but most aggressive skaters, I would say, max 40, you know.
All right, yeah.
And
I felt we had like a gap in our generation. I would say, you know, we've got like people from 30 to 40s and people younger, you know, until 25, I would say. So just
even right now, Brazil young scene is
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know,
they got a lot of kids.
15 years old double
Yeah.
backflips.
But basically it's that. So I just spent the whole holiday skating. Like wake up early morning, go to the skate park, come back home to eat, go back to skate park, and until the night. So every day just learning, until the point that I was just like, yeah, I'm trying to remember, but I used to do a lot of other stuff before skating, and just suddenly vanished from my life. My life was just like skating, trying to absorb the culture, meeting new people that I used to go to the skate park. Like some friends had like tapes, like with movies and stuff. It was like, I'm gonna show what is skating, you know. Just like, whoa, is that even possible, you know? Like because we didn't know. I had just that time that people were teaching me the positions because names at the time was impossible to remember. And then sometimes they had on TV, like a ESPN or stuff, like a contest, like a vertical or even ASA, LGs.
Okay.
And I was just like recording that thing and try to learn all the tricks and positions. And
yes, that was
crazy,
totally
you know?
beginning of 2000s because I remember I was like, I'm born in 93.
All right.
So when I was like, it was 2000, I remember I had my first skates, plastic skates from my uncle or somebody, and then my parents bought me like 1 year later or something. But at the beginning I just, you know, play with the skates or whatever. And then in the TV I remember this ASA or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do this is it, you know. I was watching also in the before podcast with Nicola Torelli, we were talking because we are almost the same age.
Yeah.
I'm from Poland, he from Italy, but it's the same. We kind of get hooked on MTV, 90s, skate culture, skateboarding, jackass, rollerblading,
All the
also was
underground
there,
stuff.
like ESPN and all these competitions, you know, it's like, the culture was there.
Yeah.
And it was not too much internet, you know. I was just watching MTV when my parents go for the birthday or somewhere, you know, like
Yeah.
for the evening or something, and I'm chilling home alone. MTV Jackass, and then something more hardcore like Happy Tree Friends. You remember?
Yeah. That wasn't for kids.
Yeah, that wasn't for
Okay.
kids, but we were like, this is it.
I feel it.
Okay. So this is the beginning.
Yeah,
so
that's how
I see
started,
similarities, you know. Even it's like other side of the world, I see similarities. That's why I like to talk to people and ask about this, because I'm like, I do the same. I was fucking in the primary school. I was in the team of swimming, basketball, and volleyball.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do something, but I want to do alone, you know. Everything was team kind of.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I want to do something. So I skateboard, I scooter. My auntie sent me scooter in fucking 2003, bro. It was no scooters in Poland.
Yeah.
And she sent me from Germany the scooter. And I was like, I scooter a little bit. Maybe I was the first person who scooter in Poland. I don't know.
I've heard that.
And then I was like, no, this is not for me. And then also it was not like about the sport, but it was about the people. So to my skate park, to the skate park next to my house, it was like a big crew of bladers. They were coming and they were super cool, and I know some of them, so that's why I kind of stay with them, because that was friends, you know. Because before blading also I was biking, like MTB dirt bikes, like on the dirt jumps in the forest or stuff like this. But I was like going holidays, like you say, activity. But at the end I was like, no, I'm with my friends, bladers, and we built one rail. And I remember I helped them to build the rail. I was biking at the time, but I helped them to build the rail, and I stay on skates next day.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess the community helped it, because like I tried BMX as well, because since now I'm still like in love. I just watch the guy choose it to create it. But I had even the BMX, but I didn't have anyone that was just like sharing their knowledge with me, just like to make me even more interested. And with skate, it was just that I just saw the thing, and they were doing what I would like to be doing at the time, and they just like, yeah, just do it. Come on, let's drop. Oh, yeah, that's it. Now you do that. Tomorrow you're gonna be here. Let's skate, and you know.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a little bit more accessible than BMX. Maybe, I don't know. At the time when I was a kid, it was harder to ask my parents for a BMX for 1,000 euros, because it was like expensive bike. But skates you can get for 200, you can get for 100 used, you can get even less. Yeah. So it was easier. And I remember I wanted to be a snowboarder, you know, because my parents bought me a snowboard and they took me to some mountains in Poland, and then we went to Alps. But I was like 10 or something, and I was like, I want to do this. But then, if you want to be a pro snowboarder, you have to be in the mountains all year.
Yeah, and
I really love it, and I was young and I could kind of get there, but I was like, it's like not possible. In Poland there is mountains, like for 2 months we have snow and then you have nothing. Yeah. So you have to be in Alps, and yeah, who's gonna pay for this one, you know?
You need to have a good family. Or
skating is, for me, it was like also accessible street thing what I can do in the city, you know? I'm from the city. You know, maybe if you are born next to the sea, you can maybe surf, but it was the same. Like
we did the same, but yeah. Like at the beginning, I was just a skate park guy, you know. Like, I even like when it started to come like more friends, that I was like I guess the friend that introduced me for like this different street world. His name is Leonardo, and he used to come like to my city, and we get so close. And his grandma lives in the corner from my house. Yeah. So all the time that I was like holidays or something, he used to go to the seaside. And he used to joke with me because I could do like a 720, flips, a lot of stuff on the skate park, but street I was zero. And then he used to take me for like, oh, let's get some rails. I want to see if you can do it. I couldn't even do like a porn star or a salt walk. That was the trick that I was doing at the time. So he was like, start to push me. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna take you to a nice skate park. It was like in downtown, in São Paulo. And it was like a wood skate park, like a massive one. And he take me there. I was just like a fucking love. Like also had like a lot of people skating. A lot of stuff was just like rollerblade sessions. And I fell in love. And I figured out that skate park was nearby my grandma's house. So all the time that I could go, I was just like, I'm gonna stay in my grandma's house for a while. I got my bicycle. I was going to the skate park to see some friends and people. So I was getting more into the community. And I guess by the time I was trying to go to contests and stuff. And I remember I went to like some circuit that I was kind of like, if you won, you could go to the X Games in Brazil. But I was just like a beginner. And I remember I went with my parents, and they explained, oh, it's just pros, it's contests, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, the guy said like, oh, if he wants to skate, he can skate just to have fun and have the experience with all the guys. And I remember I just died at the event, just trying everything that I could, but I never skated in those big ramps.
Of course, it's different.
But at the time, I remember like I got kind of close with Fabio Enes, because he was young as well, and another more two guys. And then it was that. And then after that, I was getting into internet and stuff, so I was seeing like events that was going on in Brazil. And then I had like the Peruíbe ones. Was like a kind of beach seaside area. But they had like a nice event, so I decided, no, I'm gonna go to this event, but I'm gonna go 1 week before because I need to learn how to skate in the wood park, because I was just concrete guy. And then when I got in the city, I was just like searching for the place, and I saw Fabio, it's some friend, and he was like, "Oh, you have a place, you have something." I was like, "No, where are you gonna sleep?" I was like, "I don't know. I just came. I just want to skate. Whatever happened, happens." So I stay with him. We get so close, and then he said, like at the end of the event, he's like, "Oh, let's go to that wood skate park that was nearby my house that he used to go as well." And after that, you came to my house to skate together, and I spent like a month in his house. And then we were like, was the time that I was learning how to street skate, because he was already good. He was just tiny kid, and he was so good.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 17.
Okay, I was thinking 16, 17.
For this, like yeah, around 17. And then we started to skate a lot, you know, like and then it was the time that I met Felipe and all the guys, because we were getting so into about like a video and stuff, and Felipe was the only guy that we knew who had cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to be there like just one day we could have like a video, you know, or something.
Yeah.
And then that was like when it started to get more into people, events and stuff.
Imagine now the kids, everybody have phone and they just,
Yeah.
they don't appreciate it, bro. If
Yeah.
one person in the town have camera, it's different, you know, it's different vibes. Everybody wanna go session.
Now
make
you can
this
just,
spread.
smartphone, it just do for me, just put in tripod, and that time I was like, who had a camera? Oh my God.
No, man, no.
If my parents had a camera, I would have a camera, but if not, it's just like
I remember one time in these years, when I have my first aggressive skates, maybe it was 2005, there was some camera in the house which my uncle used to film the wedding or something, I don't know,
Yeah.
you know, and it was like VH. Now I
Big
could use this
bazookas.
camera and I could maybe even, you know, make some good footage because now I know. But I was like, I don't remember, I was really young, and I remember I grind the first handrail in my life. Sorry, grind the first handrail in my life one day before. And the next day I came to my father and I say, let's go, take this camera, you film me, and we're gonna do this.
That's sick.
And I went with my father and I jumped to the sole and I smashed my ribs so bad that I didn't do it again.
Oh,
and
shit.
that's what I don't know where is this clip, I don't know where is this camera, but that was something I remember.
Would be
you know.
nice to find out.
Bro, that would be super nice to find. That was there. Yeah, I was just asking because for a lot of, like you say, it's about the culture, it's about people who support, you are interested, oh, they're doing this, you know. Sometimes, also in my city there was not too many skateboarders, you know, maybe there was 2 on skate park, and BMXers, some, but not too much, you know. So it's all about like where are you and what's happening at the time and when you're getting interested.
And people motivate you to do it, you know, just...
I feel like in Poland that's why a lot of kids right now skating and skating good. Also because we build the schools, there is a lot of people who work with kids and do the camps and everything, but at one point if you are like 13, 12, you want to do something and you don't see too much, you know. I mean, now you see everything.
Yeah,
you
now
can
we have
do,
like
everything.
We are in the era that you got a knowledge,
But
you know.
But if you give it to them like this, they be like, oh, this is cool. You know, blading is cool. It's just hidden, you know, kind of untold and hidden.
We are a small community, just like
really,
really underground, if you see it.
So what was next? Okay, beginning, then Brazil, skating, and did you move to Europe with your family?
No, it was
when
really
was it?
late.
What
To be fair, it has been like 8 years that I definitely decided to move.
Okay.
I had like back in the days kind of experience, but it was outside of skating that I came to work in a ship company, and then
Europe.
Yeah, in Europe. And I didn't have like the mentality that I could be free, you know, because it was always like, oh my God, we are in Europe, but I don't know the language, I don't know anyone.
What country you were?
Yeah?
What country did you go?
I visited a lot, like Italy, Croatia, Greece.
But that time to the warehouse shipping?
Yeah, it was the ship, because they were like just crossing. It was like basically they travel in the summer, so they are crossing all the areas, and then they started in Brazil and they came to Europe. And was the only experience that I had. Like I even when ended up in my contract, I said like, oh, I'm gonna stay here, but I was like, fuck, the world is so big. What am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? And that wasn't probably about money, because I had so much money, but it was more like in my mind like no, it's impossible. Mm-hmm. And then I went back to Brazil. Had like so many events and stuff, But after that last time, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go. You know, it's my dream. I'm procrastinating for so long, and I even broke up like a relationship that I had. So just like, that's the moment, you know. I'm gonna go. I don't care. I sold all my cameras, sold all the stuffs, and just like, goodbye Brazil. I'm gonna just travel, you know. Just, and then I came, you know. Basically, I just came. I had the thing to be like to have like my Italian citizenship, so I was just like basically waiting to sell my car to have more money to pay for that. And then that will help me to be here because as a Brazilian, we are nothing, you know, just a piece of paper that I just throw away because there is no rights. At least we can stay 3 months, but basically you need to lie whatever you're gonna do because they always think you're gonna do something illegal. And I just bought the ticket for 10 days that I knew I wouldn't be back. But I was like, I'm gonna stay until 3 months. If I can't do my citizenship, I'm gonna be back, and then I'm gonna come again. And then everything just happened. So I felt safe because like our community is so connected. So
yeah, you were blading all the time already. You were blader, and you know people already.
Yeah, and I was thinking like,
imagine if you're going without blading, without knowledge skating, just with Instagram and like I don't know what you.
I don't know.
Meet people on Tinder. I
I
don't know.
would
Go
have
cafeteria.
to had so much money first because like a place to stay or whatever. But we are a big community, so I felt safe that I was like, wherever I go, I will have some friend or friend of a friend or friend of a friend of a friend, you know. And then that was happened. I was just like coming and just like posting something or someone just like, oh, you are here. Oh, just contact this person, this one, or people just like, no way, you're in my town. Come here, let's skate, blah, blah, blah. So I was feeling so welcome. And that was easier, you know, was like cheaper than being in Brazil. And I was figuring out everything at the time, like just get a flight or stuff for 10 euros, you know. That was like unreal in my mentality, you know, just like.
Because of blading, I feel the same. I met last year the people from Brazil in the camp in Malaga.
Yeah.
And I met them in September, and in November I went to Brazil, first time in my life. You know, my parents or grandmother was asking like, you going to people who you met one time? You know, you crazy or what? And I'm like, no, this is like family, you know. This is like I can go. I was feeling safe, and a little bit I stay in Felipe, a little bit I rent Airbnb, a little bit with Diego, and a little bit with my friend Manu. So shout out to all these people. Much love to Brazil. I definitely coming back. This is one of my favorite places. You know, this is like, and also like you say, skating community is like we are the family.
We just share stuff, you know. That's like your parents said something real because you're just like, oh, nice to meet you, I'm Kalleo. Just come here. Oh, my house is your house. That's it, you know.
My grandmother says somebody's gonna kill me, and I'm like, in your news, it's like this, you know. But I don't watch news. I work in the different kind of waves.
Yeah, me too.
Of course, it's dangerous sometimes. You cannot walk around in the Sao Paulo or Rio city alone at night with the camera in your hand. But
you need to be smart
everywhere.
lot there.
Yes.
It's like when you're big in towns that you can blink, but there is just like you don't blink, you know. Don't show that your belongs. Don't show that you have a lot of stuff, you know. Otherwise, people like, why he got it and I don't have it, I'm gonna steal you.
Yeah. Just, they don't have too much.
It's just such a poor mentality. They do have it. That's the thing. Yeah. It's just a mentality. Like I can see myself like all these years outside of Brazil, and I couldn't see it, that I had so many things that wasn't necessary.
Okay.
You know, like for example, I don't know, I just find one thing, I was just like, oh, that's mine, you know. That's not mine, you know. I just like someone just lose, you know, maybe he needs, so just let's try to contact. In the last case, okay, I couldn't, okay, it's mine. But it's a lot of things that is so different, you know. Like once in Portugal, we were in a pub, and just like I came running backwards, just like, oh, someone lost 10 euros because it wasn't the table, so it might be from someone. Like, no, it's not mine, it's not yours. So the guy, okay, I'm gonna leave inside if someone needs it. You know, like, where as Brazilian, I would see 10 euros just like, is it yours? Just fucking put it in my pocket, you know? And all this kind of thing that is so simple, but for us, that is so normal. Or if you go on the market, someone give you the change wrong, and just like, oh, they changed it. Yeah, thank you. Goodbye, you know.
So I do this and I come back. I came back to Barcelona to tobacco shop, and because the lady gave me like 20 euro more, because
Yeah.
I gave her 100 or whatever. And 20 is not too small, like means small money, but for her it's like a lot, you know, it's like fucking
Yeah.
a lot of packages or whatever. And then I came back and I give her like 12 euro or something, and she was like, she was looking at me like not grateful, but are you crazy?
Yeah,
you bring
yeah,
it
yeah.
back, you know, because here is also this.
We're just like a polite, you know. It's just like you learn that one day you're on this side, but the other day you can be the other side, you know,
Yeah.
and just like
I remember first time when I found money, I was on the school trip, and we go like the, you know, proper school trip, like 2 people, couples, and like big line of kids.
yeah.
We are going in the city, and I found 50 zlotys, like 12 euro or something in one banknote, and I'm like, I'm fucking rich, you know, because if you are a kid, you it's like, "Phew,
It's too much.
I have a lot. And then 5 minutes later, my friend, not my friend, but the lady from my class started to cry, and she lost all the money she had for the trip and blah blah blah. And I was like, this is yours, okay, you know. But I was like, oh my god, my 50.
Yeah, yeah. But you learn it as young, you know, the price is just like
I saw her when she was crying, and I was like, bro, this is not mine, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if nobody say nothing, then maybe I keep it. But if this is like this, you know, I'm like.
yeah, of course.
But
we
right
are
now
humans,
I'm totally
you know?
trying to be how to say good for people and give back everything
Yeah, yeah.
and do this.
That's the thing.
Because in the other way, you know, we have to work together because it's hard.
That's the word. Together we get there. That's my philosophy.
Tell me the other thing, bro. When did you start to be interested in fashion, and how this started?
To be fair, it was something natural because I was always worried about clothes and stuff, and I always wanted to customize all my clothes. And my grandma, she was seamstress, so in her house she used to have all the machines, all the stuffs. And the time that I was spending in her house, that I used to go there just to skate, I used to sleep there and like I had the whole machine and stuff. So I was just like, oh, I can customize my clothes, you know. Just at the time, you just tied it up, you just cut and just put some things. And she was kind of angry with me because I was destroying all her fabrics that I was supposed to do something else. But I was just enjoying a lot this kind of process. And she always said to me like, oh, you should go study, you know, just like go study. I was like, no, I just do for passion, you know, I just like it. She was teaching me some stuff as well, but I was kind of stubborn. No, I don't need to study fashion. I don't like this thing. I just for pleasures. And then once I was like decided to do like a brand clothes when it was like when I started publicly, because we used to do like a kind of a lot of videos, a lot of projects, and then at the time it was just like create something, and then okay, gone, like a Facebook page, everything, and then let's create a new video and then create a new thing. And I was like, why I need to like just forget about the other stuff all the time? And I was like, I'm gonna just create like some name, kind of brand, and we create our videos, but doesn't matter the name or whatever. It's gonna be like the same channel stuff, you know. And then I was like, I'm gonna do some clothes, start like as the base, like a t-shirts. And at the time I was like, I'm gonna do some bags, you know, because I was always like basically doing stuff that I liked myself for the others. And then I was searching for a place to do it, and I find one that the guy was just like give me some ideas for other brands because they were producing. So they were like, oh, this brand is gonna drop these. If you want, we can produce for you. And I was like, well, if you are selling me their ideas, I'm not gonna give you my idea for you. You're gonna do it. And I said, I need to do it by myself. And then I was like, okay, but how am I gonna do that, you know? And then it was the time that I was like, okay, I'm gonna go study. And I was studying, and then I decided to do like all the stuff for the brand by myself, you know, just sewing. I started with bags and was just changing all the time. But basically I was like, I always want to be different. I don't know, just that's how I feel, you know. I always, if I see some people just getting like a clothes, I was like, I need to change something. Even I don't feel like comfortable, and I was like, I know I don't want to. It's just like it's not that I don't want to be different, but I don't want to feel like the same as everybody. And kind of the fashion was like
I feel you.
basically like that, you know, just be like my weirdo self. And that was the time that the brand was created. So, but the brand was always like a kind of up and downs, you know, because I was dropping stuff, creative videos, and then decide to travel. And then I had to stop because it was me doing everything. And then I stop again, create everything again, drop, and then travel. So it was always not that consistent. In Brazil, I had a time, like when I started, was so consistent that I was growing, I was changing, I opened companies because like a lot of people were buying, and I always was promoting as a rollerblade, but the people who buy the stuff wasn't rollerbladers, you know. I used to go parties and see people with my bags and stuff. I was like, whoa, how did you get that? And the people even doesn't know me, you know, just like, oh, I just find a guy skating on the internet and I saw that the stuff was so nice and I just bought, you know. It's like, amazing. I did that, you know, so, what's you? And, you know, but just randomly. But that was the time, you know, and all the time, like, I drop stuff, it's just like drop and go travel, drop and go travel. So now I'm just going back home because I was like, I need to organize this thing because it can be like that, just promote and stop. So
I do the same stuff, man. I maybe not, my brand is not like fashion brand, but it's like SCULTURE. I start to this because my YouTube channel is always like, some episodes have more views, some less. I more do it, like as you say, for what I would like to see, but I don't see it in rollerblading. Exactly. You know, our culture is like this. It's like no vlogs, no like podcasts. Or there is podcast. There is some stuff right now happening. But when I started to do some vlogs with news, I was like, not too much happening, you know. So I want to see this. And at the end, I feel you. It's just, you know, if you do everything alone, it's a hard mission. Because I do the same alone. Podcast I record. I cut the clips during the week to post the podcast next week, and then weekend I have the podcast with another person, want to do this, and in between, this is not making money, so I want to skate, I want to do this, so it's more for passion. Maybe I start to drop it every 2 weeks, you know, because it's too intense for me, maybe.
It's too much
last week I didn't post because I was just like, you know, one person, I have 3 podcasts recorded, and then one person moved, because she goes somewhere, and then one person travel, and then one person was mad, and one person have private situation not good, and then I'm like, hey, I don't have next episode. And I'm alone, so if it's like, you know, if it's like more people, maybe we organize, then I skate, you talk to somebody, and we have the episode. But if it's like that, I totally feel you. And also I dropped the merch last year, and I supposed to open the website and everything, but then I did my event, Tomo Invitational in Poland in December, and I like show the premiere of the video and drop the merch there, and then we go to Winter Clash booth with Magic Boots and Bobby Inferno brand, and I put some of my stuff there on their booth because they are my friends and they helped me to do this, and I sold out everything, and I didn't open the website yet, you know, I just sold 100 pieces, and I'm like, okay, that's good, but I need like now, right now it would be good to have this money, buy new clothes, make a promo and drop it for the summer, but now it's not possible because I'm here, I'm focusing on the promo video for other things. It's alone, you know.
That's the process, and also it's hard to find someone that wants to do the same thing, you know, wants like have the same commitment as you have for your stuff, you know. I sometimes
don't like to ask somebody to film me a clip, you know, because if it's gonna be 30 tries and he's skating, you know.
I feel that just like it's like sometimes we have some people that are just like they understand, you know, just like, okay, it's gonna take long, but I'm gonna get, because
yes.
After I want to get it, and sometimes it can take long, is because we know we are not gonna try to just like do something simple. I always try to push ourselves in different ways, or even try stuff that you never try it before, you know, and takes longer, you know. It's not like
if we want to push the limits a little bit, then it takes longer. If we want to chill, it's possible to get a clip and go home.
We understand, but unfortunately we don't have like someone that we just pay, like, okay, you're gonna film me 24 hours, and that's not our reality, you know. It's like everything's so underground. That's what you do. Your friends like, okay, I'm gonna film. You can tell their face just like, oh, fuck off, you're still trying. But I stay with you, let's do it, you know.
Last time I was in Greece, but that was like Bobby say, I'm gonna I'm gonna help you filming the promo video, and I'm gonna film you. So he said that.
Yeah.
And we went to the spot, and I did 150 tries, and I didn't get the trick, and we back home after 3 hours, you know.
Yeah.
And he didn't say nothing, but I was like, oh my god, I feel so bad. I feel so bad, you know, with myself and this. But then we came back 3 days later, and I did it in 20 tries, you know.
Yeah. We know that. It's just like people just see the video already, you know, and then like just criticizing everything. It's just like I know we can't. Like I'm telling by myself, you know. Sometimes I can do stuff that I don't even imagine that I can do it, and some days it's just like something so simple, but it was so hard to me, and I just appreciate that because my day is today. So I don't care like oh I could do like a banger or anything, but that's how I feel today. So I just like I'm grateful that I could do that today. And maybe tomorrow I'm gonna be different, you know. I'm gonna be feeling better or more motivated. And
not everybody understands it, you know. Especially if you take it as like a sport or business. It's more lifestyle. It's more what you feel and how you're gonna express it. And sometimes you have to push because sometimes you feel like drinking coffee and chilling. This is what I feel, but I have to sometimes go and push, you know.
Especially now with internet, I would say like because everything's so quickly, you know. You just do like a 50 minutes clip. And then tomorrow someone just waiting for more for you, and the next day for more and for more, and
this was happening to me.
You just arrive in a point that sometimes it's not enough. Like I tell it to myself, like I just stopped a while to post stuff because I was like, I always think everything that I was doing wasn't enough, you know. Just like oh, I did something so crazy there, and now I'm gonna just post like a little edge, and then oh, I know I have views on that, but not that one, and I was like, I don't care anymore for that, you know. I'm just gonna do whatever I'm feeling, and if people like or don't like, I don't care. I
feel the same.
I start for myself.
Instagram, I started to treat more as a business device because I have some sponsored deals which they pay for a reel or something, and I just last week I focused on this because it's really affecting my skating sometimes. I talk to a lot of people about this, and they say, yeah, because we have to work for quantity, not quality, and have a reel, and then you have 2 of them, and you have something in the month, and then there is other missions.
Yeah.
But I focused and I did whatever I need, for example, for power slide. So I record in 1 week like 10 or something, you know, till May, June, and now I'm focusing on my skating right now, and if I record something nice and I post it, it's good. But it's everything for the sponsors, let's say it's going there, you know. But if we all the time want to post and post and post, and maybe better, because I don't care, but then I watch, oh, how many people like it, oh, how many views, this one is good, this one is not, and it's affecting you, you know. It's,
just like
me personally, it's affecting
I stopped to do that. I was just like, I don't care anymore. I just post because I need it. Like I like to make my way, you know. If people like it, it's doesn't depend on me, you know, because I already did. I put there, and I share the way that I can. But for the rest, it's from the rest.
Everybody has to find their own way and the balance,
know,
for sure.
That's it. Now, but at least now with Echo, it's just like they don't ask much for stuff, but I explained them because I was living in Italy. I was by myself. There were anyone that I could film and skate. So that's why I had like so much gap with no clips and stuff. And that sometimes when I was skate, I was by myself, and I was like, I don't want to do all the time just putting my tripod there and just do some clips. That wasn't like a nice way, or maybe it's nice trick, but just filming in a wrong way. And then I just said, then I'm gonna just film more on the street and do like just drop something, because if I had on big one for YouTube, I can split and use for whole platforms. And they said like, oh, it's fine, you know, like time by time we promote it because we are just around, so we talk with people, especially now that it's traveling a lot. So it's also good for business, not just like direct on the internet, but outside on real life, you know. You just show the product, talk with people, make people feel like.
I feel like content is important because it's just, you know, these times and it's going worldwide. But I like the times. Lately I saw the quick interview, quick questions with Niels from Winter Clash, and they were talking about the times when you have 2 years to collect the footage for the section and everybody is waiting, and then you drop the movie in the section and everybody's like, yes, and you're gonna watch it for the next 2 years. And here now it's like dropping projects 3 times a year, you know.
And the people already forget because so much material, everybody does material.
And every day Insta bangers. Somebody go nuts, you know, on this. So
it's just like it's too much, you know. It's just like it's nice, of course, but I don't know if I can do it like like everybody just bangers and bangers.
I know. I just start to do what I feel, you know. I start to, like I told you, focus on the missions I have, let's say, kind of for supporting my skating for sponsors.
Yes.
I do this, but I try to focus like old school on the street section project, what I do, and the t-shirts and hats for the summer, what I want to drop. And
Yeah.
because if I have to film everyday clips, I'm distracted, you know, and then I'm posting them, montaging them, and like, no, too much energy. I have to make it.
Yeah, I just like I do schedule, like, oh, this time I'm gonna do that, or
Yes,
if something
schedule,
else to happen,
plan your life a
if
little bit.
that, yeah.
Because it's freestyle, rollerblading is freestyle, but if you put a little bit of harmony there, I think it can.
Yeah, it's
flow.
possible to do it, exactly, is it?
But
Yes.
tell me about because yes, we talk about what we kind of don't like. Clips is okay, you know, it's just the times, it's just the
Yeah, it's different.
2025, we have to kind of adapt. But what do you like the most about skating? What do you like to do on skates? Like big kink race, I don't know, film with friends, or skate park competition, or small curbs, or you
I'm
know.
always like a rail person, you know, just
Rail.
like obviously my first love is like flips and stuff. That was something that we were even talking this day with the guys that are just like I can do a grind, but I had to do a spin or flip because I don't feel comfortable. For me, it's just like I just grind and it's gone. No, that's what I love to do. You know, if I feel one day I'm gonna just do a session with gaps and stuff because I don't want to grind. You know, that's how I feel. But I do love the rails. Like it's something that I used to have like a good rails in my skate park that was kind of the stricter rail, so used to do everything there, and my mentality was like I can do here, I can do whatever, you know. And nowadays I'm just like more pushing myself again to have them to be able to do a lot of stuff, you know, like because like when I had the accident, like I tore my ACL, and then that thing is just like a kind of destroyed completely my beliefs.
1
you know,
year out.
2 years.
2 years
yeah.
out. You did it on skating?
Yeah, just in a competition, just felt wood because I'm like a concrete guy. So
ACL?
yeah, I
So you
just
did
tore
this?
straight away. No, just sideways, and
Okay.
when I landed, I slided. You know, just like on the proper landing, just I felt my leg doing like a clack, clack.
Yeah, I broke my disc in the spine 2 years ago, and I know,
Shit.
like knee is different. Knee, I have meniscus, some problems, but I broke it too one time when I was younger, but now I have this, and this is like,
Yeah.
bro, it's like killing me, you know?
Yeah, I guess it was the hardest thing because like I couldn't even move my leg. My leg was like a piece of wood, and I need to learn bending. And even now I can't bend everything. It's still like a kind of like a hand like that to touch my ass, like to stretching. But and then like to skate when I was getting back, I couldn't do some movements. You know, like I was used to spin like do a mute grab because I'm tall. So
Yeah.
if I don't compact myself, it looks weirdo, you know. And then I was trying to jump, and my leg doesn't bend that way. And it's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And then I had to think about everything that I was doing. And I'm not a person who likes to think about what I'm gonna do skating. I was just like, oh, do that.
Yeah.
Even if I don't know or know, I never think. I just want to do it, and I do it, you know. And then this kind of process makes me a little bit afraid about stuff. So that's why I'm like a graduating in skating. And that's how I feel now, you know. Like for this last month, I was just like a kind of ledge guy because I was trying to find like some basic spots to create stuff, you know. Like I said, I was just like skating sweet all the time. And then was something good that I like it, but it's not, I don't feel like comfortable to do stuff that I just like stuck it, you know. If it's switch, it's switch. I don't care. If it's regular, it's regular, you know. But to have to do something strict like that was kind of a challenge. And then I was like, yeah, Barcelona is the paradise. So yeah, I'm gonna even drop like a little video for Echo, and then basically it's gonna be just ledges.
But this is what we were filming last time, or this is different project?
No, the last time I was filming. Like basically when I went to Brazil.
It's not ledge only, it's bangers. I saw it.
It's just ledges. It's just ledge. I was watching, and I was like feeling so bad because I like to mix, you know. If I can do bangers, of course I'm gonna do. But it's not that I wake up. It's like, oh, today I'm gonna just jump from the thing, you know. It just sometimes I see the spot talk to me, just like,
Of course.
you wanna do that? Or some friends, like even, I guess the crazy stuff that I did was my friends, you know. We were just sat like on the side, I did like the last banger that I know myself was like a disaster that I did in Barcelona, and then we were filming like a parallel video with my friends, and then I was touching that spot with Michael Prado, and then he was like, "Why you don't do this duster here?" I was like, "Fuck off, you know, like, are you crazy?
You wanna kill me or what?"
Hey, you wanna kill me? I was like, no. And the guys was skating on the top, and we were just sat there, and I was like, oh, and they started to joke, you're so pussy, you're dead. I was like, come on, I'm not gonna jump here. You're crazy. I'm gonna die. He was like, no, I believe in you. You can do it. I was like, no way. And then I started to look at the spot, and then I was like, oh, looks like a perfect to do. It's hard, but let me see. And then I started to jump from the first stair without speed, just jumping, and fell on the middle. I was like, come on.
Are we talking about forum disaster?
No, not the forum.
I'm kidding.
Was someone like a Corneilla up there? Just like.
And finally you did it.
Yeah, I did, but it was just like that. I was just like trying, and then I jumped it twice, and then when my friend like Francis finished, I was said like, oh guys, yeah, let's prepare the camera. I'm gonna do here, and everybody just like, ha ha ha. I was like, no, I'm being serious. Like, yeah, I'm gonna jump it. They're like, okay. So if you say so, and then I was like in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna try 3 times, because if I can't do it, it's gonna be too much effort, you know. And then at the end, I ended up 7 times, and then the last one I did it. But it was just like something mental to me, because it was like basically a disaster here, but in the street on the sideways. So I have to cross all the way, start to run all the way, do the curb, and then jump. But basically, that's happened because Michael was annoying me, and then I believe in that thing, you know. But if it wasn't that, I wouldn't jump. So basically, skating is not just like yourself, you know. It's just like who you are surrounded, because if your friends just like give you an idea, just trust and build it up, that thing, and make it happen. You know, it's so nice.
Think, for everybody it's different, because sometimes for me it's like I even have to have a list of spots and my go, and I do trick, and then maybe if I feel I do something better.
Yeah.
But if there's a lot of people telling me to do, I don't know if it's pushing me, you know. Sometimes it's like I don't know. But also I ask because it's really like I used to like skating competitions, skatepark competitions. And now, these days, last 3 years, I'm like, I really want to skate street and create projects and do this, you know, totally different perspective. Before I was like looking at Farmer when I was young, and I was like, he was so good in Words video, and now he is not skating, nothing competitions, he's just doing this, but he's doing so bangers, like he's doing every day with his tripod, like king rails, which I never grind, and the negative top acid to top acid switch and stuff like that, and then I was like, okay, this is what he feels, and he want to do it, he want to express like this. Now I feel it, you know, because kids sometimes also like, can you do 540 alley-oop? And I'm like, I can do it on this box, but I don't feel like I want to do it, you know.
It's
I
not
can
the
throw
same,
myself, but it's not, you know, I like to maybe sometimes do something else, you know.
Yeah, the new generation came with like a, with like with something that I was just like, everything is so ready, you know. They had a place to skate, they have like a massive support of a skate park.
Coaches.
The culture, like all the trick is already here. And I still see some stuff on the internet that makes me laugh.
And
like
skate shops and companies of skating who was lacking of, you know, there was no kids. So they were like, oh, kids, give them everything.
Yeah.
Now, I talked to kids when I was like 15. I was trying to work extra money to buy my wheels, you know, because I broke my wheels and I didn't want to ask my parents. And now they get wheels for free, man.
Yeah, I skated so long with a broke skate, no wheels.
Of course.
Just like, that was the time, you know, we had that thing, it was just like, shit, but we did that. And now they have everything and they still like a kind of, I don't know.
Some of them are bangers, you know.
Yeah, they are good, you know, of course. Come on, you skate every day, you're not going to be good with all this information, all support. Yeah, but it's not that every day we can just like spin 540 forever, you know.
Yeah.
Once it was, I love it, I love that thing, but it's not every day that you can do it. You just explore yourself. Skate is different, you know, it's how we feel. So nobody said that because you did that crazy stuff you need to do every day.
Of course,
you know,
of course.
That's
this
the
is what we feel.
It's about creation, so how you feel this moment, that's the moment.
But they have to grow to understand it, you know, because I didn't understand it too. I was just like, skating was for me like a kind of a sport, or when we talk about this ASPN competitions, it's for me like, you know, professional athletes, rock stars at this time, and you know, skating, winning money, living the life. And now I feel like, oh, that was such a, you know, I was young and I thought different.
And now everybody like has different
But I appreciate
responsibilities
skating.
and stuff.
I am really proud to be a rollerblader because I had different times in my life when sometimes I was feeling like, what am I doing here in this fucking industry, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, or whatever, talking to friends who have brand clothing companies or outside of blading, and you know, he's dropping and he's selling 1,000 t-shirts in one night, and I'm like,
yeah,
we don't even have 1,000 people who are gonna buy my shit, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
people are there, you know. It's like the whole community doesn't help the whole community, you know. That's the thing.
There was some X Games poll, should blading get back to X Games, and there was comments, and most of them was hating on X Games. And of course, maybe fuck X Games, but like this, you're not gonna bring it back.
Yeah,
If you want it there, if you want it there, I'm not saying
they are there. You know, they are there doing everything, and we are the only sport that is outside. So
I'm not saying we
stop
need
to cry,
but
if we sport, it would be nice. You know, of course, it's gonna be different skate,
and
different
there is like
ways.
20 years ago, you kick us out. Now you want it because it's. And I'm like,
it's time to forgive people. You know.
So
everybody does bad stuff.
But
so.
I feel different. I feel this is the generation I grew up in, but now I hang out with younger people or people who travel. You know, you are different also. Like, you know, people, old heads who are like this.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're maybe traveling, maybe your life experience open your mind, and you know that. For me, it's the same. But a lot of people don't know this, you know. But kids, I feel like they know. Kids, I feel like there is no hate. Kids skating with scooters, like they filming together clips on Instagram.
That's it.
And I'm like, this is it. This is what we do. Skate culture.
It's different. It's just different. You know, use it like a different shoes.
But that's what I was doing when I was young, and there was no dividing yet. You know, before everything. And then we start to fuck skateboarders start to say fuck rollerblading because somebody say it in the video in America, and you know, in small Poland in 2003, then some skateboarders start to say that, and then it's like.
And we still have like this. Like even the proper hurt inside of our community, and it's just like mostly are the guys that doesn't skate, or maybe they are frustrated with their life on the skate, you know, and now they are just like a common bad stuff for people that is doing, you know. And mostly they don't do anything now, you know. Fucking
yes,
you
it
can
is like
be
that.
like that, you know, just like a
pain inside and some fear of missing out, and then you
threat yourself, and then just talk with people. You're humans, you know.
Yes.
That's it, you know. You need to be happy or grateful for the others as well. Like, of course, in my time, I didn't have a lot of stuff. That's not why I'm gonna be hating the kids that had everything, you know. Why am I gonna hate? If I want to be there, I just train or just, you know.
But yeah, sometimes when
I've got the same now, so what's the excuse?
Yeah, this is like this, because sometimes when I post a video on TikTok and it goes viral a little bit, then people from, I don't know who is this guy, never see him, and he say, yeah, I was a pro for Red Bull in Poland in 1996 and I was doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, you know?
We are not museums, like we live it from the past. The past is nice because we are what we are because of the past, but what am I gonna keep saying that back in 1999 I used to do this thing?
Because I'm sitting here on this terrace every night, last nights, and I'm like watching the moon last night, full moon and everything, and I realized the planet is spinning all the time, you know, it's like all the time in move. So this talk, in 1996, in 1996 it was good, but now we are still moving, the planet is moving, you cannot stop there, you know, you have to run, it's
different
crazy.
Time, you know. You see even all the guys that were good at the time and how they are skating now. They are not doing all the crazy stuff that they were doing, but they still good in different ways. And
only Niels is crazy like he was, you know?
yeah, but it's just like some people still can do it, but we are different time, different stuff. Back in the days, was people like I felt that we have to prove that we are good, you know. No, we are good. Let's jump from here, and that's it, you know. And people were doing that.
Now it's different a little bit. Yes.
It's just different time, different way to skate. We are more open. Even like we are getting older. Like it's not about that. Like we train every day the body, but it's not the same, you know. Even if I want to, I do a session 3 hours, I'm just gone.
Yes.
Back in the day, it was 7 to 7 without eating, and I was there.
I know.
35 degrees,
I don't know
boiling my head, and it's just like.
I was the same.
I can't, you know, but we're still doing it, you know. That's for the love.
It's for the love. It's for the
love
culture.
this thing,
it's for our, it's like I feel it, you know.
Yeah.
I was talking to Yuri about it. He say when he stopped skating kind of professionally, he kind of missed this way of life that he's going with his girlfriend or whatever, and you see the spot and you're like, wait a second, what is this rail? And you know, people don't see it, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's kind of interesting way of see
It's different.
the things, and I think it's important to have a lot of perspectives, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
And it's so nice to do videos. Like I always did the video because that, you know, because I had like a kind of the lack of information for myself back in the days that I didn't have cameras or photographic cameras. And then when I started, I love that thing because it's like for myself, I can create something and I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can even watch it, or I can tell a story to someone, just like, oh,
Yes,
imagine that, look at that. And then we just share what we did. And even to myself nowadays that I just like back into skating and try more stuff. Sometimes I watch in my old videos to see like, come on, how could I do that, you know? How was the thing, how was the way? And then just watching myself, it's just like, okay, I can apply now.
Yeah.
If I already did, I can learn again, you know, or just understand my body, you know.
It's beautiful. That's why it's beautiful.
It's so nice though. Just like it's a memory. Just
Yeah.
your own story, but you can tell in video.
Because no, you don't. Nobody can have to watch it. You know. You just sometimes
Yeah.
I start my vlogs because, like I told you, nobody was doing it, and I was like watching vlogs from other sports or travelers, and I'm like, I'm a traveler rollerblader. You know, I'm gonna show
Yeah.
it to. And then at the end, I'm showing it to my parents and telling them how I was in Saudi Arabia, how I was in Los
Yeah.
Angeles, how I was in whatever place I was, and I have a vlog. You know, and from my perspective. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
was doing that as well, and I just stopped it for the same reason, you know, because I was
It's a lot
starting
of
to be
energy.
so criticized, not myself, just like, oh, I need to put that, and I was feeling never was enough, and then I forget what was the essence, you know. I just started because I want to feel myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
For the others, I'm sharing, like a kind of, when you tell a story, I can tell a story, and I can also show my story, you know, because we always had like funny stuff, you know,
Of
just
course.
crazy or
Of course.
do whatever, but it's nice to show people, and video is the best way to tell, you know, the best storytelling to tell, you know. Just crazy.
I feel the same. Tell me, bro, what do you... all this blading and everything, our life is rollerblading, but what do you do when you're not skate?
Well,
You have some activities? You like to watch podcasts?
basically,
Walk around the city?
I'm not much for like watch stuff, you know, even if I really watch a lot of stuff, but I'm more like into exercise, so just cycling a lot, running, training. Like I need to come back home because this kind of trips I just stop to training everything and I just feel so weak. And before just
I know you
cycling a
stop
lot.
your routine.
Yeah, like
I know.
it's nice to have a routine as well. I'm not like this kind of person, but like especially traveling, like I had to adaptate yourself in different kind of lives because you're not in your house. But mostly I just training. Like in Italy, it's like I live in a kind of countryside, you know, like a small town surrounded by nature, and they just cycling, training.
You have some place to skate there?
Not really. There is a town nearby that I used to go, like a skate park. There's a few people who skate, but like they are like older, they have family, everything, so it's kind of different. Sometimes during the weekend I can get them, but mostly I'm just by myself. And basically just training and
Okay.
study possibilities to do videos
Active
and
person.
stuff. Yeah, I'm always like a sport and stuff, so. But now
Okay.
I'm just thinking to move a little bit because like I'm more into skate life again, and there is not gonna be just the place that I can skate or can train or can push myself or curate videos with more people instead of to be lonely. So that's what I'm thinking.
Barcelona is good for skate life.
Yeah, maybe, you know, I already live it here, so there is a potential.
There is a lot of places in Europe. you know.
Maybe I come back. But
Barcelona is hard.
yeah, it's nice. It's like it reminds me a little bit of Brazil. This outside life, also beach, skating, nature. But I don't know. Let's see. I can't promise because I keep changing place all the time.
Okay, so tell me the craziest story what happened to you, maybe during the rollerblading years with bladers. It can be skate related, you know, party related, something funny, maybe hardcore, maybe something crazy story.
Let me
That's the part
see.
of the podcast. I ask everyone.
I mean, I always had some stuff that I almost died, but no drama. I guess like it As a funny story, was like I was traveling. I was living in Italy at the time, doing my citizenship, and then at the time I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything, you know. I had to be there, and I was just spending money all the time. And then I was invited to go to China by AJ, and he was like, "Oh, just come here. We're gonna pay, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Fuck, I want to go. I've never been there." But I didn't have much, so he basically paid for like the visa and the travel. But to go there, I had 20 euros. Was like my only money that I had. So basically, I paid tenner to go to get the bus to the airport, and I slept one day there. So basically, I had to skate like 15 kilometers to this town that I could get the bus to go to the airport. I prepared like a lot of food. I went to the airport. I stayed like 28 hours there. So basically the first day I just eat everything that I had. And then I was just fucking starving. Even the police came to the airport just to check if I was legally there or doing something wrong. And then I travel, so basically I just get a food on the plane and just eat it so slowly because I was so starving. And then I get there, and when I landed, I found another guy that was going to the same event, and that he was speaking Chinese, so he helped me the whole way because I didn't know about internet, about all the stuff that I was like blocked, and then he helped him. So we basically went the town from this event, and then I was like with 10 euros, but I didn't change because I was
You
like,
still have this 10 euros?
yeah, I went there with 10 euros.
You are in China and you still have it?
Yeah, just 10 euros was like the only note. And basically like we had the food on the hotel and stuff, so just like eating there, getting some stuff for until the lunchtime and come back and doing all this thing. And then we went to the town. They were like, "Oh, I'm gonna show the town everything." And then we stopped in like some kind of plaza that was like a proper architecture local, and I was like, oh, I was even filming a vlog at the time. I was filming, taking pictures, and I saw a lady dressed like with the proper costume. And I said like, oh, just ask her if I can take a picture of her, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah. And then I took a picture, and then she said it for me like that. And I was like, okay, I don't know, it's like waiting for something. And we were talking, taking more pictures. And then came another lady to my side and asked to take a picture of me. And I was looking, I was like, is it the same lady? But she just removed the costume. And then I took a picture of her, and I looked back, was a queue to take a picture of me. So basically, like I was the tourist, but imagine
you can
like
tell them €1, everybody.
black,
now.
10 meters, you know, just like everybody was so tiny, and then everybody wants to take a picture of me, not the opposite way. And then we are going around the town all the time, just like people trying to take a picture from far away, a lot of phones, or sometimes I was like, what the fuck is in my hair? And someone just touched my hair. Just
I
like,
know, I know.
And I was like, that's mental, you know?
China is a little wild.
That's mental. So basically it was like this kind of like a tourist situation that I was the main spot, you know, wasn't the other people. And then I went to this contest, I did well, I guess I got third at the final. And then I received like, for their money, they had like a lot of money like that. And I was like, what is that, you know, the price? And I guess I changed it. I don't remember how much euro was. But basically I come back with my tenner and more money. So that was the thing that helped me from the time that I had to leave Italy and start to travel again.
Imagine this rollerblading will help you with money.
So yeah, that was crazy. You know, I went to China with 10 euros and I come back with a lot of money.
Sometimes it's like that, you know. Sometimes it's happening like that. But that's a nice story.
That was
and
crazy.
Another crazy story from China, because in podcast before, CJ said 2 crazy stories from China. One, he got arrested. One time the Chinese guy almost died in our hotel room.
Oh
so
my
it's
god.
Like,
No,
China is maybe China will keep going in these crazy stories in the podcast, and at the end of the season we're gonna make a ranking who was
Who won the China
what
trip.
country of crazy story won. But now China.
We need to do a trip there and take everybody and see what's happened.
Yeah, man.
It's like a mysterious, but yeah, it's such a nice place. I would like to come back. I would like.
Yes, and you're skating new skates right now, because we say a little bit about this before, but I want to know, Eco Skates, new company.
They are from UK, and some people that works there, they are from Denmark.
And this company was existing before with other skating, or
Yeah,
they were skating
they-
related?
They like their backgrounds, they anarchy skates, and they had like
I
a
know which
lot of
one, yeah.
companies together. But basically, they just decide to do like a proper good skate, like with material recyclable, with a good material for a low price. That's basically what they do. Like, I guess the whole skate is just 120 something, and that's the thing, you know, like a good material, the skate is completed. They have like an inner line and everything. And then this came like for me like from nowhere, like basically because it was the time that I was recovering myself, and I was like, oh, that's it, it's gone, this kind of skate life. And then all my friends just like trying to push myself. No, let's do it, let's do pros, let's go film. I was like, I can't even jump again. No, let's film, it doesn't matter, what you get it. And then I guess they were searching for people because I feel like I was the kind of the last one to get in the team. And basically they make like a propose, and I was like, well, it's amazing because at this time for my life, you know, but I need to check if the skaters are good, blah, blah, blah. So basically I tested, and I was like, well, surprised, to be fair. I was like, wow, yeah, I'm down with you guys. Let's work on. And yeah, since now I'm like a part of the pro team as well, and that's something really nice that just opened so many doors again to skating, even like to create videos and stuff. So just like kind of everything was kind of cycle, you know, just like because I do love the videos, and now I had like again another reason to do it, you know, because before it was like okay, let's do for what. You know, and now with the brand, and I can connect with my own personal brand and work everything together. And I also had the support to proper skate, you know. So, wow, shout out for Echo.
Shout out for Echo.
It's just insane. And as a brand new, we are just starting, you know. So it's just like now has Alex Burston as well on the team, and
I see it's
all
like
my
a
mates together.
very good movement right now, because when I was growing up and this times skating at the beginning, it was more there is USD, Razor, Rollerblade, Valo,
Yeah.
and nobody else. If you try to produce the skate, maybe also they were shitty when they produced it, but if you try to produce a skate, people were gonna laugh at you. You know, it's not like you're gonna go to the market like this. And
We
now
were so close there, you know.
now the market is like, you know, you see Cougar skates, Echo skates, Fraction skates, the new Everything Skate company.
There's a lot.
Power
of
Slide
new-
is making skate for beginners, like what I test Play Life. I see Julio is making them for beginners. Everything, it's like
Yeah.
we have, the industry is open, you know.
We
the
are
doors.
growing though. We are like we every year are growing. It's just like it's small steps, you know. It's not like before just like boom.
No,
but
no, it's small.
it's growing. It's getting more accessible for sports events, and well, hopefully we can get like a more even
Sometimes we
sponsor
do-
outside.
3 steps forward, 1 back, and it's, you know, but still moving. I don't
Still
know.
moving, yeah. It's growing. More kids coming, and that's the thing, you know. It just that's what we do. That's how we match each other. That's everything about skating, you know. I
Yes.
can't see myself without this in my life, you know. I guess I would be fat and not doing anything. You know, I can even imagine how I would be if I wasn't a skater, you know, like everything that I had is because of that, or it's just insane. I definitely don't know.
I always ask at the end for the message for kids or people who want to begin, but you just say that message. You just say that, you know.
Yeah.
It's like important thing.
Just
part
do
of your life.
what you love, you know, just for love. Doesn't matter about numbers, about these, you know. Just like if you're good, just push your friend that is next to you and skate together. You know, if you are famous on the internet, why your friend can be? Just be both, you know, be another one, and you guys grow together, and like it makes more people watch skate and
Not be
wants
like,
to
oh,
skate,
he
you know.
doing this. No, fuck it.
No, just motivate each other, you know. Just
Help
like
each other.
that's the way that you're gonna be good as well, because if your friend are good, you're gonna be like someone to be challenged every day and learning, and that's how you grow, you know. And even for personal life or whatever, you know, you just like we were saying, like we do everything by ourselves, but if you got someone, you just grow, you know. That's like my philosophy once that I had. I guess that's my last lesson that is together, you know, together we are everybody, but together to get there, so you can arrive where you want to go, but by yourself you can't go there. So
Oh my God, it is
that's
important.
the thing, you know, just
I have to say, when I start to travel, because also I was like in the point when in Poland I was teaching kids and grown-up people how to skate and everything, and I kind of get tired of it, you know. I was like, it's not giving me pleasure. Maybe it's giving money or whatever, and then I start to maybe have a bad connection with other guy who was my friend, but then he have a skate school also, and we start to, and I'm like, it's not like that. Now when I'm traveling, I see it. I see Poland have a unique something which supposed to be connected and show it to the world, but everybody is divided. Different cities, different people, different crews, different skate schools, different camps, and they are making money, and this is like, now I feel it, now I see it, and I see myself when I was there. I was like also big ego, everything, and I'm like, I'm the guy who is no,
just
it's not like
competing
that,
against.
man. It's not like that. It's not like that.
Be
But you have to
together.
really zoom out and see what you say, you know.
That's it.
Like really have to see the perspective, because
That's it.
people cannot understand it sometimes.
Just together, though.
Together.
you grow.
To get there, that's really amazing. Any shout-outs, promotions, any whatever you want to say at the end?
Wow, just keep it support us, like as my personal brand, Bobby Kalleo, with Echo Skates that we're doing, like this main guy that is doing this project, so you can hear us. And well, if you can support everybody from skate, just do, you know, because if we don't do it, it's gonna die, and we do by ourselves, you know. Just that's it, you know. We just want to do because we love this thing and we want to share different point of view. So
For bladers by bladers.
yeah, we are family, so let's be a real family, you know. And
Thank you for the conversation,
I
brother.
appreciate
Let's
so
skate.
much. Let's go.
And you guys, thank you for watching the SCULTURE podcast. If you like it, comment, like, subscribe, send it to your friends, because it really helps. And we have a day still going on, but for you, have a nice evening, because we post it at the evenings. So thank you very much for watching. See you next time.
See you. That was nice.